Yo, welcome to Show on the Go. It's your boy Roscoe Squeeze Off with
Rich Blackman.
Alright, so I was supposed to have the title up here, but I'm, technically ignorant. But the title of the day is what happens if a woman doubles her man's salary? Or even if he just ain't got no salary.
Tough one. Could it be done? Could you guys have a decent relationship with the woman making double, even triple the amount of money than the man? Could it work? What you think?
Personally, I'm thinking no myself. I don't know, Miss Food for Kelly. Could that even work? Like, I just think it's rough in a relationship for a man and a woman to be together. And I know over time and over history, men have made way more than women, have had housewives. They took care of the kids. They had their own account. Matter of fact, they spent the money as if they made the money themselves. Does that reciprocate? Could a man be a house husband? Or could a man make $30,000 a year when you make 80? You know what I'm saying? Would that cause a problem? When y'all want to make a together purchase and he makes 30 grand, but you make 80, is it percentages there or y'all going half-half? How's that work?
See, that's a tough one. But I tell you, honestly, I really think it could work, but you need two very special people. And I mean, this is one of those things where you have those type of people that truly believe that what's yours is mine and what's mine is yours. That's the only way it's going to work. That works. That works with a man making more. Will that work with a woman making more? Is a woman really going to go home and make 80, 100 grand a year and her man makes 30 and she's just comfortable? Well, he'll just give me $300 towards a $1,000 bill and I'll put up 700. Well, that's why I said it's gotta be that special type of situation. I'll throw my own experience out there. Years and years and years ago, I dated a woman who actually worked for the government, and she made about 120, maybe about 125,000 a year. Okay, and at that time, I was a struggling entrepreneur. I just opened up my business not too long ago, and I was doing maybe taking home about 45, maybe 45 a year after everything was said and done. And how we had everything set up at that time was she would pay a bulk of the bigger bills, and then I would just kind of knock out the little things, and we would just make it work. And it was kind of like she was okay with that. Like, bring whatever you have to the table. We're gonna be fine. And it really worked out, But again, it was one of those situations where she was that type of person to say, "Hey, look, we in it together, and we're gonna make it work, and we're gonna succeed together." So it really takes a special kind of person. Of course, sometimes it made me feel a little crappy.
What broke that up, though? What broke up that? You said she's a past relationship. What will break that relationship up?
Oh, I was just an a-hole. I couldn't keep focused on the right thing.
Now,
but
here's the question.
Wasn't financial though.
Was she a winner? Because I know this is going to sound, I don't even know what the word is. Not materialistic, but whatever the word is when you think of somebody beauty and ugly, whatever. Was she a winner? Because I don't see a lot of beautiful women doing this.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Vanity. That's the word I'm looking for. Vanity. That's a vanity thing.
Don't do that.
Well, because look, they've always had this theory, and I don't know if it's a cultural thing or whatever. Actually, no, it's not. It's an everybody thing. you've always thought, they've always joked around like I'm gonna give me a ugly chick because she'll do this, that, the other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to a beautiful chick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, see, now you're gonna upset a lot of people, man. I'm gonna tell you, Roscoe, you're gonna upset a lot of people. You getting on here calling people ugly and all that.
No, I ain't say ugly. Just say, does it make a difference? If a woman is gonna make double what her man's making, she's gonna, or has a man doesn't really make anything, and she's gonna cover him. Does it have to be a low self-esteem woman? Can this be a normal, strong, beautiful woman that just says, "I got my man, I got him covered"?
I think
as long
so.
as it takes.
I think there's a lot of women out there like that. That just kind of, they want companionship and they're winners. They just want a true, faithful companion, and everything else. Hey, we'll work it out. You know what I mean? Is just be true and be faithful and just keep it like that, and we gonna work it out. I really do think that. I
don't think so. I don't think it's a woman out here that's gonna let a man be a house husband if he not bringing enough to the table.
Well, I mean, you should definitely be bringing something to the table. I'm not talking about the dude that's sitting on the couch playing the video games all day, borrowing the car and being late coming to pick up work. No. I'm not talking about that dude.
Exclude that totally. Let's just say, all right, she makes $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
He makes 35. Now that impacts a lot right there. If you unpack what I just said, the 35,000 he makes, the 100,000 she makes. When you're going for a mortgage or a rental property, just a rent, that are you paying equal amounts? Because now she's dumbing down her equation to him. You know what I'm saying? If that means you're paying $500 a piece. You know what I'm saying? Or, for a $1,000 rent, let's say the place rent is $2,000. Is she going to cover 15? He cover 5? Or they going to do 1,000 a piece? Because now he has very limited money left. I mean, if you're talking about $35,000 a year, you divide that by 12. That's what's that? $3,000 a month? Less than $3,000 a month? And that's why 100,000 is 8,000 some change a month. Almost. Well,
that's why I said it really depends on, because like I said in my past situation, it was a thing. Say if you use that same math, it would be a thing that I would take on. For instance, making sure we got food in the house, paying the gas and electric, paying
the minor bills.
The minor bills. I'm not gonna. This is back when house phones were there. Taking care of the house phone and taking care of things like that. So the smaller things, you know what I mean. So it can work. I think it can work. The problem is, like I said, in some situations, I did kind of feel a little.
Less than a man.
In certain situations. Listen, you know what I mean? Because I had to budget.
Can't work. It can't. Listen, I'm going to tell you, it couldn't work for me. I've never been in that predicament. I've had a chick that made more than me, but I made what she made with other things I had. Our direct job, she made more than me. Matter of fact, my direct job now, my lady made more than me. But whatever things I do, it equals out or I do better. I could not be in a situation where I got to depend on somebody for my life, for my living, situation. I would feel uncomfortable. I would feel less than a man. I wasn't raised that way. So if I can't bring to the table equal value, I really ain't trying to do it. I know that sounds crazy. If I met a chick, a female, right. I mean, it's a chick, a female, and we got to kicking off, and then I found out, wow, she makes $250,000 a year, and I only made $125,000. I'ma feel uncomfortable.
So you mean to tell me you may pass up the opportunity to be in a relationship with a great woman because she makes more than you?
If she doubles me, she can make. I'll tell you, my lady makes more than me now.
But I mean, okay, if she
doubles me, hell yeah. Because listen, like I said, relationships are hard enough on their own without, any added issues. And I just think society has told us that men can be the provider, can take care of the household, can make way more, and can support a wife if need be. Society does not tell us that women could make way more and support their man. Now, I know it happens, but I don't know what type of strain that puts on a relationship. I think that is a strain. When you listen, when she tells you, hey, don't you raise your voice in my house. You know what I'm saying? What you doing, Flair? You just gonna shut up, huh? Okay, my bad. It's your house. You can afford this, I can't.
Listen, I would never date anybody that even come out their mouth like that. But it's one of those things though. Again, you got to know who you dating. You got to know who you dating. I think that's definitely has to be a conversation. What a lot of people don't do nowadays is actually have these conversations before you start dating, because they're important. When you in your 20s, it don't matter. When you're in your 30s, sometimes, it matters depending on where you want to go at that point in your life with a relationship. But when you're in your 40s and over, this needs to be a conversation. It needs to be I'm not even going to lie. It needs to be a first date conversation.
First date conversation. You don't know you don't know what you're going to do. If you don't know if you're getting with somebody. But you're talking about as far as income on first.
As far as income, you deal with this, because I don't believe that you should. You know what I mean? If the first date is going good, y'all are sitting there, you guys are vibing, everything sounds great, you guys are laughing and talking and everything, depending on how you met the person or where you met the person, I think, that long-term goals and income should be a part of that.
Possible.
Definitely. I think that's where a lot of people mess up now, is they don't sit there and they don't discuss income, and that is a very, very important part. Because you know what, hey, if I come across a woman and we got on a date and I like her and everything is going good, and then I find out everything looks good, but then I find out, oh shoot, she don't have a job and she don't plan on looking for a job, she don't want to work, that changes my whole idea of what we could be as a couple. You know what I mean? So I really think that definitely should be a first conversation. If I'm dating a woman and say I just happen to meet her and talk to her, and we're going out on a date and something, and, hey, what do you do for a living? I do this. What do you do for a living? Oh, I do this. Okay, so there may be an income thing going on here. I think, what are your goals long term?
First date, she finds out you make half of what she makes. She ain't got to like you or love you or none of that yet. It's a wrap, player. It's over. It's over.
It is. Listen, it is what it is.
You're the head.
Out the way.
You're the head janitor at McDonald's. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's a wrap, player.
You save a lot of time that way.
But no,
save a lot of time.
Listen, so my thing is this: how do people even get in a situation where the woman makes double what the man makes? How does that even happen if we talk about saving time? Either somebody lying or y'all grew together and she outgrew you. You know what I'm saying? If y'all been together for a long time, and y'all may even have a child together, and over time she stayed in school. You might have did what you did. You worked. I don't know. If you grew into that, that's one thing. But if you meet somebody off the bat and a woman finds out she makes double what you make, is she intrigued? See, they put 1,000%. 1,000. Who's that? Pack runners? Exactly. 1,000%. Men don't meet, and a woman says, "Wow, he was really attractive. I really enjoyed him. He is perfectly put together. I like everything about him. The $25,000 a year job, and I make $150. I'm just gonna have to put up with that." No, that's not how it works. Women want to look for a complete pack. Now, men go by. I think me and you had this talk before privately. If you ask most men, what attracted you to a woman? What made you get with your lady? Man, her ass is fat. Man, I loved her body. Man, she was pretty as could be. She had the best smile. I loved her eyes. You ask a woman, yeah, they say those things, but they say, oh, he had a good job. They look for security off the bat. Don't get me wrong, they want attractiveness, but they look for security. Men, we just sometimes jump out there. We pick women based on a lot of vanity type things sometimes. Not all the time, because every dude ain't got the most beautiful woman, but I'm just saying, that's one of the things we look for.
Listen, I don't disagree with you, but one of the reasons why I started dating my lady, actually my wife now, is because she cooked good eggs. She had like the most amazing eggs I've ever tasted.
Dude,
and I know that sounds crazy. I love eggs, man. I'm a big fan.
There's a dude at Double T Diner cooking some good eggs, yo.
No. These scrambled eggs were great. And, my wife is beautiful.
Right. But the eggs, but how'd you get to the point where you got the eggs? You don't get eggs from day one.
No, actually, let me tell you. When I got the eggs, oddly enough, when she fixed the eggs, she fixed the eggs for everybody in the house. I wasn't dating her at the time. She was actually a friend of mine, and she had made breakfast for all of us, including the girl that I was dating then. And she made a breakfast, and I started eating, and I was like, man, these are some amazing eggs. And then I looked at her, I said, that's my future wife.
Look, do you see what Pack Runner 41 just put up there? Security or control. That's exactly what women look for. So in order to get to a point where a woman doubles what a man make, either he lied to her, or either he felt off, or they grew together and she grew faster. So if y'all met in college or something, or high school or whatever, and she went to college, you became a warehouse worker, and she kept on going, now she makes way more than you. But you don't meet. You won't have two 30-year-olds dating, and one's a warehouse worker that makes 35, 40 grand a year, and the other one's a dental a dental hygienist that makes 80 grand a year. That's a tough match, because women look for different things when they go into a relationship. So you end up in the wrong place sometimes, but they look for different things.
So you're saying that the dude that manages McDonald's has no chance with the attorney, the defense attorney that makes $150,000 a year, because of the simple fact that he's the manager and she's an attorney. They may have met. She may have stopped in there to get some lunch one day, and they just start kicking it. That could be a perfect match in heaven. It's all about your mind state. I believe that in some cases it can work.
One of my best friends in the gray cap. Okay, Pack Runner 41. You're one of her best friends. You're one of the best friends. But listen, all I'm saying is this. It could work. I just don't think it will. I don't think it would even get to that. If you meet at 30 years old, eat, and she makes 85 and you make 35, I don't think it goes far unless he's lying. But you can tell by his, her living arrangement, his living arrangement may be different. Especially if we're not involving children or anything like that, it can't work.
Pack Runner. Now, that's a hard one, man. I wish we had somebody on here that's in a similar situation. Because, like I said, I do believe it. I believe it could work, man. You just gotta have the right mind state.
You giving a woman with the right mindset, or a man. Like I said, I couldn't do it. I would feel uncomfortable as hell if my woman made 150 and I made 60, and it's like we can't do similar things. We in different brackets. When I'm making payments on my Corolla, she's BMW payment she's making is completely different from my Corolla payment, but they're the same because we're the brackets we're in. You know what I'm saying? So if we do things, we want to go on a trip. Let's go to Bahamas. Oh, baby, I ain't gonna have but like $800 between now and August. She'd be like, but it's a $4,000 trip. She gonna have to cover that if she want to do that, and she's gonna want to do that because the people she works with and associates with can do that. But me with my $35,000 a year job, which I don't have, I'm just saying that for the show, can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, two things. Number one, is the Corolla fully loaded or standard? Because that makes a difference, man. You paying about $35,000 for a fully loaded Corolla nowadays. So,
but hey,
on top, you doing it big.
Look, the cheapest BMW is 40 grand down there.
Oh, so what we got? Pack Runner said, I was with my kid's mother. She made $350,000. I made $50,000. She wanted absolutely control over everything. Wow.
Why wouldn't she if she makes way? That's what I'm talking about. If she makes way more than you, like I told you, she may hit you you may be arguing in the house one day and she may hit you. Don't you raise your voice in my house, because that is her house. That is her money. She covers everything. She deserves control over everything. That's why back in the day, when women were housewives, the man had full control. I mean, if you go way back and you look at old videos with old shows of what's that, The Honeymooners, he used to threaten us to why I oughta, you know what I'm saying? Because they had full control. They beat their wives because the wives were like children. They took care of them. You know, this is a
I
different
don't think that
world.
was a financial thing. I just think he beat his wife.
and you might be right. You might be right. But I'm saying she has no control if she has no money. So if you flip the script now, 2020, and you have a woman that makes double what you make or more, she's going to want control. That's the natural way. Just like if you made double what your wife made, you may want control. You don't realize it, but it's natural. Hold up, I paid for that. I put that there. I did this. So when you say something to raise your voice, it's kind of hard when you don't have the financial backing. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show on all the apps that people will listen to? How do we make money off of our podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing our podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with some great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading you this ad. Anchor, we started almost about a year ago, and it's been a godsend. Like I said, it's a one-stop shop for everything. You don't have to have any experience, and it takes you where you want to be. So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money by doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. And join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast.
But you got broke chicks out there that'll sit up there and want to run it too, and don't have no job.
They got the money maker. They got the built-in money maker. The equalizer. That's different. And it's also history. Men have always taken care of women throughout history. Women were, there's still countries where women ain't allowed to do nothing. If you go across seas, there women cannot work. Women cannot get a license. They can't show their skin, their face, their body. You looking at eyeballs. That's all you know. You can't even prove she's a man. All you see is eyeballs. Unless she got a really nice figure. You can't tell you can't tell what it is. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I
understand what you're saying. It could work. I don't think it really can work, though. Unless you grew together. That's the only way. Oh, yeah. There you go. Another one. Here you go. And the government stepped in and imposed child support. There you go. Killer of the family structure. Not just child support. The government daddy, which is all type of food stamps.
Don't get this dude started. Don't get this dude started.
Look, that is the killer of the family today, of the low income family. And I'm not saying anything racial. Of the low income family, the killer of that is the government daddy. You know what I'm saying? Because when she can say, I don't need you, and matter of fact, they come in to do an inspection, you need to hide your shit, that's a big difference. That changes the family structure. Because before that government daddy, the people, low income families was actually stuck together very tight. Very, very, very tight. Because they needed each other. They had no choice. Whether he worked or they both worked or they took care of the kids, whatever they did, they had to do it together. Now you have an option. And matter of fact, the option says daddy can't be there.
Nah, that's real. I think we had the conversation. You and I had the conversation before. One of my favorite movies is Claudine. It's an old movie, and my mother used to watch it. And basically, I think it was Diane Carroll. I think it was back then. She had like 5 kids or 6 kids, and she was on welfare and all of that. And she met James Earl Jones. Right. He was like the trash guy. And, they started dating, and she liked him, but she was kind of like pushing him away because she didn't want to lose her government assistance. You know what I mean? Right. So, he made money, and she was on a government assistance programs with housing and stuff like that. So it was like one of those things where, she would push him away. And it really showed you the breakdown in the structure of how the government does come in between families. It's real. It's real.
Pat Ronna hit the nail on the head. And I was going to go to black families, but black families had an 80% marriage rate before the government daddy stepped in, which is an absolute fact. They had the highest divorce rate of any family, period, at one point in time. But once the government daddy came in, and then they took the college less jobs training out of high schools back in the 70s and 80s, which they took out the mechanical programs, the plumbing programs, electrical programs. All those programs allow people to graduate from high school and make a sound living. They took that away. You have to go to college now, and then you also the element of criminally touching someone, where you put that criminal constraint on them for life, and then you put the government daddy in there. I don't need you for shit. How many times you heard that on television or somewhere in the street? I don't need you.
I heard it yesterday. And look, both of them were on the bus stop.
Look, just think about this. A woman that doesn't have a lot of money can have a nice, if she has a couple of kids, I'm not trying to, I don't want anybody mad at me, but if she has a couple of kids, she has government selections, of things that come her way. She's not allowed to have a man there. She can sneak a man there, but he can't put his name on anything. They can't get married. That changes everything. And then, so when you got this upbringing or this level of thinking, that goes around and around, and then you say, all right, I'm gonna work my way out of that because I don't want to be like mama was. I'm gonna work my way out of that, and I'm gonna make $100+ a year. You're not putting up with no dude who makes $40,000 a year, because you don't want to be part of that system. You want a prosperous situation, and you think of security and control, like Pac was talking about.
Yeah, nah, that's real. That's real. It's unfortunate, man, but
it's a lot to it. It's a whole lot to it. And apologies for getting off tangent. That's really what we should do the show on. That's what I like to talk about. But either way, listen, I believe it's having situations out there where women are making double with the. She's doubling. I mean, they grew into that situation. They were together before she made it. She graduated. She got a better job, and then he got a criminal record, and that slowed him down. Things of that nature. It's funny. Hold up. Let me read this. Funny how you don't see Caucasian women, Chinese women, or Mexican women saying they don't need their men. And maybe I'm stuck in my culture. I tell you this all the time. I don't know what everybody does for sure. I know what I see on TV. I don't watch a lot of TV, so I don't see it a lot. But I don't see that narrative. I don't see that narrative a lot. I see it in our culture because I'm ingrained in our culture. But are they not? So all right. Well, Pac Runner, if you can chime in if you have some knowledge. Are they? I know Chinese aren't, or no Asian, and I know Caucasians are, but not in this part of where we live in on the East Coast. I've seen it in Midwest when I was in the military. But are they just not on like any type of social or government assistance? So they had to depend on each other and they had to make it happen. And one thing about them, Spanish guys would work, man. They would take the lowest job and they would work all day. Matter of fact, they would sit at Home Depot and come and wait for me to come pick them up and pay them $100 a day to do my backyard for me, to redo it, to lay some sod like I had nothing.
Just what you was just saying is what I'm physically watching right now. I wished you could see this. I'm literally watching this dude work on this house. But whatever. But so, hey, yeah. But
I guess we can go on this topic forever. We should probably start wrapping it up. Glad to have Pac running there. Glad for your input. You brought a lot of light to this. Listen, my opinion, since we about to end it on our opinions, my opinion, a woman that met a man and she doubles or more his salary, unless she has self-esteem issues, unless she is not the most attractive, which is also part of self-esteem issues, I don't care how good the wood is, I think that's not what she wants. She wants security, that kind of thing. So I just don't think it works unless she has self-esteem issues and she just wants a man to look good on her arm. Kind of like how men used to do back in the day with women. Make a bunch of money, get a girl 20 years younger than them, just to say she looks good on my arm. And she couldn't hold a conversation with a golf ball.
I don't totally agree. Okay. I think that it could work when you have two of the right people in the right frame of mind. I do. So let's see what you got, Pac Runner.
their women support them, and it shows their kids how important it is to support their men, whether the men make money or not. You know something?
That's what I'm saying.
True. That is true.
That's what I'm saying.
Does that happen in all cultures? I don't think it happens in this culture as much. I don't know about the other cultures as much. You know what I mean? I've seen movies. I can't think of a movie where I've seen Caucasian women cussing out the man because he needs to get a job, make something happen. You know, I don't know about the other nationalities as much.
So we're gonna have to do a show because it's definitely, especially when we have more people on here to jump in the conversation, because I do believe it's a cultural thing. You know, I've dated black, white, Asian, Hispanic. I know it sounds crazy, but you know, it is what it is. And there are differences in the culture, big differences.
Okay,
there are.
And maybe that's what's influencing mine. I've never really dated outside of my own race, so not really. I've never dated outside of my own race, so all I see is what I've seen growing up, and I just know that's a cussing out. That's not a long-term relationship. If she make more than you, she gonna make you feel like less than a man from time to time. You know what I mean? Because you don't bring to the table. I've never been in that situation because I don't want to ever be in that situation. I've seen that from older people when I was younger, and I never want to be in a situation where I'm with a woman that, now if I met a millionaire woman right now, multi-millionaire, and I'm not right now because I'm in a relationship, but if I wasn't, and I met a multi-millionaire woman right now, I would feel comfortable. I would feel strange, not comfortable. I would feel strange about getting into the relationship. Even if she's attractive, I'd wonder why the heck she wants to be with me. It would, I don't care how good of a job I would feel very uncomfortable. Because I feel as though she has way more than me. She has more options, especially she's beautiful and rich. And I feel like, why is she with me? That would mess with me. No matter how attractive I may be, as you can see. But I just feel strange about that. You wouldn't feel strange? A millionaire woman wants to date you right now. Y'all just met. You single. Y'all started hooking up. Y'all start talking. She wants to be in a tighter relationship, knowing you only make whatever you make. You're making 1/10 to 2/5 what she makes, and she wants to get in a relationship.
If she's fine with that,
you good? It don't bother you? It's not playing with your mental?
Certain things would, but it all depends on, again, I don't know, man. When you talk about millionaire status, that's a whole nother thing. Because if she's the right one, she's gonna take you up a whole nother level. So you're not even gonna have to worry about a lot of things.
Well, if you're going into it like, hey, me get mine, that's a different story. But if you like, hey,
well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I mean, if for instance, well, I can't use Nicki Minaj and her husband.
Exactly. That wasn't gonna last. Are they separated?
Nah, he in jail.
Oh, okay.
But
that's not gonna last. That's not gonna last. Man, come on, man. That ain't gonna last. You taking this man around, baby, when we buy you an outfit? Baby, you need some new shoes? Come on, man. Baby, you like a little car to drive? Yo, that shit's gonna get old to anybody. It get old. I don't want no woman to take care of me. I want to do for myself. I want to feel like a man. That's why I feel innately insecure. Right. Pack runners hitting the nail on the head. Yo, and you got to feel like to me, part of a man is providing. If she's worth $1 million, I'm worth $100,000. I make $100,000. She makes $1 million each and every year. I can't provide for her. I can't do shit for her. I can give her some wood. I can go. Is that the answer? Is that going to make me feel comfortable? When we get into an argument, am I like, oh my God, is she going to leave me? Am I going to feel insecure feelings? What you going to get? Because it's going to be now. Women can do that. Women are used to, hey, do what you got to do. Put your time in, you get half. That's been something I heard my whole life. That's something, I'm about to be 45 in December. I've been hearing it my whole entire life. That's just what it is. The system knows that. As a man, I would feel uncomfortable. I don't know about you, player.
You might look. You might miss the love of your life messing around with your feelings, boy.
And you're right. I would miss the love of my life for that. I would.
You gonna be riding. Look, you gonna be riding around in your Corolla, not the fully loaded one, the standard one, right. Riding around while somebody gonna be riding in the Bentley past you. Dude was like, man, I worked at McDonald's and I met this chick, dog. I'm good.
Listen, I would lose out. You would not. In that situation, you would lose. I would lose out when you wouldn't. I would lose out when you wouldn't. But hey, listen.
Well,
thank everybody for chiming in. We got to get ready to wrap this thing up. What's your final comments on this? What you think? What's your final comments?
Hey, look, this was great. You know, everybody. We're gonna do this every Saturday. We're gonna do a live stream. When I would say, Roscoe, what time you want to try to? I know today was a little my fault, but we're gonna do every Saturday.
We'll try to do them early. Try to get them in the mornings if possible, before people get their day started. We know Saturday is a day when people run around, do things, honey-do lists, and what have you. And especially a day like this where you can just enjoy beautiful weather. So try to get in early. We'll try to put the time on the site. Go to all the link is right on our Instagram page. It's on our Facebook page, on all our pages. And our link takes you to all our connections. We also put it up as a podcast throughout the week, so you can comment at any time on any of our pages, and we'll respond to it.
And if you have any ideas,
and thank you very much, Pack Runner.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Love you, man. Appreciate that. And and if you guys have any ideas on what you think you want to, what you want to see talked about on the show, what you want to see discussed, definitely let us know, man. And and when we come up on this live, jump on. We'll definitely answer your questions. We'll get you involved. And look, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about us. And
we're gonna get this technical difficulty down soon too, because we working on it. We old men.
Yeah, we old dudes trying to get into this new technology. So
don't let the no gray hair fool you.
Well, all the gray hair you see here, which is normally dyed, because I don't want to set my age.
That's a show, man. I wouldn't mind doing something quick on that. I don't believe in ever dyeing my hair, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get to that. Never. Yeah. No chemicals, man. Why I gotta fake who I'm is?
Nah, it ain't about fake, man. It's just it look rough when you got a patch of gray hair, and then it's black hair, and then it's gray hair, and then you got on this side it's all black, but one gray string hair. It look like you're going through something.
I feel
If I had the even joint, I'd be straight, but my joint just be everywhere, so I can't.
I feel. I mean, I got little strands coming in there, but I'm trying to hold on.
Also too, definitely, your man Rich, me, your man Roscoe up top. We're gonna start this whole weight loss journey. I didn't want to forget about that.
I forgot about that.
And we're going to document. I think we're going to start as far as documenting, because we actually started. I started today. You started. I started the other day.
I started Tuesday.
Yeah, he started before me, but we're going to document. So we're going to be throwing, like, I'm going to jump on the scale today. I'm going to catch my weight. I'm going to throw it up on the show on the go site so y'all can see it. We're going to start our journey. We're going to just update you guys on how we doing.
Black men. Black men die faster than any other person or creature on this, not creature, but any other human creature on this planet. Any human mammal on this planet. Black men die from hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, AIDS, all type of stuff. We got to start taking care of ourselves to the fullest, man. And it got to be something when we talk about it and put it out there. We got to go to doctors regularly. And I'm gonna probably do a lot of YouTube pages. I'm gonna connect that to the site, because the YouTube is really easy to do, like a quick little blog, like a video blog. I'm gonna try to video blog it, but I'm gonna link it to all our other sites as well. And Rich probably do the same thing. So I want you to see my whole transformation, our whole transformation, as we go down to being healthier. And I wish I actually got it from the beginning. I was heavier than this before. So when you see, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
But we all got to do it.
Yeah, and I was a lot heavier too. And actually, my story, I'm not gonna go into it now. I'm gonna go into it another time. But my story is very long, very up and down. So long story short, I have to get off this weight, because if I don't, my chances of living is gonna go down. So definitely. So I'm doing this not only because I want to get in shape and I want to get fit. I'm doing it because I want to live, and that's real.
Right.
So
eat to live, don't live to eat.
All day.
Love that phrase. Love that phrase.
Went to the market this morning and got a whole cart full of stuff I know is not going to taste good to me. But I got to do it.
I can't wait to do the show on this, because as you already know, I got different views on weight loss than the average person. I don't go with what traditional health says, but I can't wait till we go on this journey all together. So that might be one of our next coming shows. We can even talk about that for a show, because that is something that most people can relate to. There's a lot of people out here that's good and fit just naturally, don't have to do anything. I used to be that way. I hit a certain age, that stopped. I started picking up 5 pounds a year, 10 pounds every year, like it wasn't nothing.
Definitely. Matter of fact, we probably should just go ahead and do that next weekend as a show.
Next weekend show, yeah.
That's and officially start that.
Right.
So we're going to do that.
Damn.
So, all right, y'all. Well, definitely, like we said, we see y'all live stream next Saturday. Don't forget, please visit all of our sites.
The link's right at the top.
Yeah, podcast is everywhere. We're everywhere. On any streaming platform you could think of, we there.
Radio, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, Anchor, Apple, Google, everything. It's right in our link. You click on our link, it take you right to it. So, once again, this is Show on the Go. It's your boy Roscoe Squeeze off with
Rich Blackman.
Till next time.
Peace.